Reminaya, Seminaya, an update. Now, first of all, I would like to salute my good brethren and fellow vanguard, Pharaoh Ramesses, over there in Chicago. For those of you who do not understand,
this is a conversation I was supposed to have a few hours ago. I had to go run around, do some things, so I had to reschedule it. Hope you're all doing well. So there is some controversy out there. Good to see you, Ogun, with Job Bunny and some roster brethren. There's a difference of opinion. Different ideologies. Some people are not too happy with the brother Job Bunny for a lot of his statements. But we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give my perspective on what's going on and why it's going on and why there's a difference in the way the different brethren look at things and break that down historically. So let me let people get over here and we're going to get into that conversation. Yes, indeed. It's a lot. I understand both sides. I get where both sides are coming from. I get where the people that's upset are coming from, and I get where Job Bunny's coming from. Me personally, it doesn't bother me what whatever Job Bunny wants to.
the level of Rastafari rank and file, I would suggest that you go and listen a piece that Pharaoh did this morning, breaking down the generation aspect of Rastafari. Now, I notice a lot of people is in their feelings and asking me and criticizing. But Rasta, you can't criticize I, because I know really nothing what anyone I go say right now I go make a difference to I. First of all, I never asked to be placed in this position as Rastafari ambassador. No one, I father bestowed that upon I. He must have known the reason why he select I out of everyone with them have around him. And as such, he also know what kind of son him raise as a Rasta man. Now, first of all, my father have never restrict I from doing and being high. Now, what I find disrespectful is the fact that I have pointed out over and over and over that I have tried upon instruction of every elder outside of Percival Howell and Claudius Henry. Now, I am not gonna rise up now and make it up as we go along. I cannot even do that. Even if I don't want to do that, I can't do it. The reason why I can't do it because there's no unity in Rastafari. So, for example, if we were talking with one voice, then certain things I wouldn't be saying. But okay, if I talk with one voice, everybody still are going to have for them one little 2 cents where they want showing car. There's no harder. Now, I tell everyone that I have come from when it was one. You think I never have sense when I am youth? You think, ask any of my brethren them was still alive today when know me. Them will tell us a long time gonna stay where I'm stay. Why you think say my life telling us about my gun? Because I no carry gun in a waist, gun always in a hand. Because that's the only thing certain people respect, you know. Me no grow up like Uno, me tell you say a man me grew up round. Me grew up from camp to camp to camp, yard to yard. When me go in a certain yard, me know the rules and regulations at the ends. So therefore, me explain to you say me deal with all the elders them. Me know who a liar, me know who a trickster, me know who a con man, me know who a pucker man, me know who a warrior man. Me know all these elders, me know the position where them take. Me know when me a talk to an elder and look at elder in him face. Me know when them a skank me from when them not skank me. Me know these things. The difference is if you skank me, you skank me for the betterment. Enough works, but go up and I know say folly works, you know. And I still go up on it because it is for the movement. But when I hear these things, because none of them put in the work, you know. When you think of me, I break it down. What do you want me to do as ambassador? Come here and tell the youth them more lie. True Martin Planner was my father. When the evidence is there that everybody sold out. The evidence is there, you know. You not hear and you not look upon evidence, you just want to attack. No. Whatever Claudius Henry did, him did it from a Rastafari perspective. And not me say so. The government say so. Right? And when the government say a Rasta do it, who come and tell the government say Claudius Henry and a Rasta? Who? My whole man, wanna see it. Claudius Henry got trial for 10 days. Who testify against Claudius Henry? Who renounce Claudius Henry? And on me, my whole man, him come on the record and him telling us say Claudius Henry come and farm, take over the Ethiopian World Federation and farm a thing called 60-something man strong. That is evidence for sure say a long time Rasta sell out each other. So when me supposed to come and do now? Sweep that under the rug and polish up that and do like the fat man them. Me for come now. Me show you. From me come and start talk, everybody get in them feelings, you know. Because Me, I come as a Rasta baby and me's a man innocent when it comes to speaking the truth amongst my people. That's how me did raise. Me never come to con my people them. First thing me tell you now is that Bongo Heady dead a Spanish Town Road. That make everybody start going at them feelings. Cause me tell you say how Bongo when Bakawa lit down, Bongo Heady camp never lit down. Me go under attack for that. I know nobody not come with no evidence for sure say I know so it go. What is ironic about that the whole of my brethren them when I grow with and people where I know Rasta and who are Rasta, my family, everybody knows say I saw it go. So there's an underlying joke amongst my generation where there's a laugh off at the now generation Rasta. I am Rasta, you know. So what am I supposed to do? Come here and just make it up and telling a pure lie because I'm an old man? No, star. Things have to change. That's why the man say a new faculty card. The faculty where them been set, and them done it. Remember say the old man fight against Claudius Henry, him and Avaranga. Remember say me see him once said there's nothing in the record that the man them never call Red Snatterford and Barry Shepherd and all them man. Me come telling us say that never happened. Look back on Avaranga when Avaranga speak about it. Avaranga laugh with a big smirk on them face. Say, yeah, there was a man named Claudius Henry. We shoot 3 Amshap soldier. And Babylon say Rasta do it. And we call Oje. And we call Rick Snatterford. And we call him name to come declare say I'm a Rasta. You don't hear these evidence. But no. And you say the first one I know these things. But no. A bunny still want attack. So now, what must I do? Come here, agree with the bubble that Emmanuel never did a Spanish Town Road, when me know same did a Spanish Town Road, when the whole of my friend them know that, so me come back and make myself a spectacle, and that me for do? What me for do? Come here and talk, say, my father the greatest man, when there is so much record, things not a record, where the man do wrong. And that me for do? For no love me? Well, you what now? Me done telling already, you know, say. Me no come here for nobody like me. No give a fuck if you no like me. No care about no like me. Or anything like that. Me never ask no one to follow me. I may ask you, no, please give me that amount of respect. Don't come over here, come tell me what to say and what not to say. Don't come try bribe me. That me ask you to leave me alone and fuck off. You know, beg me to stop cussing them thing there. You know. Me no want, just leave me alone, man. When you see me put a new thing out there, when you say, oh shit, him again, and click off. Don't torment yourself because me not have no pretty talk for come tell the world. After where I go through and put in, you know. Right now, by the way, one of my little soldier, Sizzler soldier, down at Azana, South Africa, the record keeper, Juna Negos. This week, the man them time up. Yeah. The man them Azana time up and take away the whole Rasta record and take away everything from him. Yeah. Take away him computer, take away my drive, take away everything and him stranded now. Right? Yet, me dey tell you now, say after we free South Africa and start move now for free up ourselves as Rasta, me run into a problem, and when me telling you where the problem was, the xenophobic of South African, wanna start tell me say me a coward and me a this and me a that. My brethren come and tell us say out of a team of 10 of us, only 2 of us still alive today. The rest of man them dead in South Africa. Who Portuguese not kill, Zulu kill, this kill, that kill. Yo, right now I'm on free for talk my trading. This is my trading. And last night in my research, I come across that his majesty was a slaver. Yeah. Yet, Rasta try to paint a picture like Ethiopia is Zion and is a holy land when it's one of the holy slave place. No man had asked me and I tell me say there's a difference between Arab slavery and Ethiopia slavery. Man I try ask me question now who one I time Ethiopia have 2 million slaves. Man I try define it, man I try to polish it up and I tell me say couldn't free 2 million people one time. Why did he have them in slavery in the first place? I man can ask question of any man where I feel to ask question. I a Rasta and I'm not telling you from day one say me not get no vibes to go to Ethiopia. I'm not telling you from day one say if I go to Ethiopia, I go to go bust up my gun by Ethiopia for free back the place. I'm not telling you these things. You think I talk, me I talk, brother? You think I talk, me I talk? When we take up things as mission not impossible because it's death before this honor. I know me no hear no Rasta talk. Take no vow, death before this honor. We sit a Rasta right now outside of my generation. Me know all the vanguard them with the take that vow there, you know. Man with the take vow. When the man them hear me attack, I smile, the man them a smile and I say, so what now with it? Yeah, man, Jabby still not change, man. The man that take the thing serious. The man that are dead before the sun. The man that got dead. Attack where them attack. And the kind of Rasta they look pan, you know. You think it's a stylistic Rasta man you look pan? You think it's a renter dread you look pan? You look pan real foundation Tukumaka from Bakawal. That you look pan Tukumaka. Yeah. People are say, me stuck up in a Bakawal. So which part me stuck up in a? You know, say, oh, irony get this that me in the heart of Babylon. And I still back a wall, me there. Me bring back a wall come in the heart of Babylon. Me don't let go back a wall. Everywhere me go, me in Africa, back a wall in Africa. At them level, let me take the thing to you now. So me don't know where you take it, where you deal with it. Obvious, if there was a unity in a Rasta, I wouldn't be speaking this way. Because I would be speaking for the benefit of us all. But there's no unity in Rasta. And right now, I not see. There's no respect. I mean, I look on the respect, you know. Who me fi agree with me, agree with them. Me not fight down no man. Me not census no man. Me no care where you want to say. Me no care where him want to say. I me no care where she want to say. So when you hear I man attack, man, dog fi go sit down, man. Seminar and Reminar fi go find a corner, man. Me and Uno in the same class, man. Me never in a phone class yet. I man I go speak up on whatever I find and I go criticize whoever I want to criticize. I ain't no response for no guy. At this Marcus Garvey that talk about, you think I'm me alone know what me know? 3/4 Rasta man held a Rasta man we are true Rasta. No way me know, you know. The difference between I and some man them suppress them true feelings. Cause them a hypocrite, parasite. I not do nothing for look no likes from you. Who care if you don't like I? To how I see it right now, how much time have you tell me? Una Babylon more than Babylon. Yeah. Look on the nitpick. If you hear certain issues and facts, you don't even know how to approach an issue or a fact to say, Jabby, let's discuss that. You take me arrogant. If you want, make your point, man. Look for my brethren, Rasta man. Look for my brethren, Giza. The man them telling you the blueprint. All you have to do, lay on a foundation and run it come give me. I'ma make the world hear on a foundation because your foundation no clash with my foundation. And one and the same is just perspective and angle. So what man I say? Me not supposed to question his majesty. And that a man I tell me. Me don't know what this thing is all about now. Me live to come see man I work with Babylon openly now. Just to man want get the rights for angle ganja. I just say it there now. Every man want get the rights for feed them family and fuck off with the rest of the massive. I ain't have to sell nothing or sell out anything. I not there. I just have to say the youth them now hear the truth. What I supposed to do? Know these things and don't speak on them. Well, if I listen to call diplomacy, man, me never get none of that, man. Nobody never give me no diplomacy, man. Go sit down.
Based on what he thinks. Doesn't bother me. But that's probably because I know why. And I'm going to get into that. There are different generations of Rasta, and there also are different angles from which different Rastas are taught when they come up. So your environment, has a lot to do with everything, right? That's Emperor Haile Selassie. This is Emperor Haile Selassie. That's Marcus Garvey. Then it's Claudius Henry. And at the end, that's Jabuni. Emperor Haile Selassie was the Emperor of Ethiopia, King of Kings, conquering land of the tribe of Judah. Marcus Garvey was a Pan-Africanist that had a large movement. Ethiopia, he was the Emperor of Ethiopia. Claudius Henry is a brethren that went to Jamaica to try to overthrow the Jamaican government. And Jabuni is the son of Mortimer Plano, who is one of the founders of the Rasta Liberty. But a lot of his opinions make sense to me from his perspective. We're going to get into that. Now, the major difference between Jabuni is Jabuni's father is one of the elders, founders of the whole concept and the whole, wrote songs for Bob Marley, wrote a lot of the Nyabingi chants. And Jah Bunny was dealing with Rasta when there was just no division. And this is why he's not happy with Rasta today. Because when Jah Bunny was a young brethren coming up, there was no Bobo Shanti, there was no Nyabingi, there was no Orthodox, there was none of that. There was just Rasta, just was one. And so he's really not happy with the division. And I don't blame him. I don't like it either. I don't like all them houses of Rasta. I don't like that. Right? Now, the major difference, even though we're only 4 years apart, the major difference between Jah Bunny and his concept of Rasta and him coming up in it is that he actually came up there in it. Me, I pretty much am all the way in the United States. So I was really brought a lot of the information from Rastas older than me that would be a second generation like him. At that time now, we're going to get to what's up with Jah Bunny. At that time, a lot of them was abusive, like Shaka Zulu. He was very abusive to his own people. He was not cool. He's not no hero. He was a scumbag. He's the one that let Europeans in mostly. He liked the Europeans more than he liked the other black kings around him. That's a fact. And so we longer. And this is where Jah Bunny come in. This is why Jah Bunny is like he is. Because what a lot of people don't know is that this second / third generation, early third generation, late second generation Rasta, we were a little different than Rastas are today. I'm not like these Rastas today. I'm more like Jah Bunny. So if Jah Bunny is the end of the second generation, I'm the beginning of the third generation. And so they're my teachers. So I was taught by the Jah Bunny type, by the Mortimer Planner. I was taught by the first and second generation. Because when I moved to Compton, I was standing at a bus stop and this Rasta drove by. And when he drove by, he got out the van and he happened to live 2 houses from the bus stop. And when this brethren got out, he came and told us to come to his house. So we went to the brethren's house and he took us and showed us this big ganja tree in the backyard. And then we had a connection. We started seeing him every time. Well, this brethren happens to be Jah Bunny's daddy, second in command, basically. His name is Ross Kojo Brown. So Kojo, here he is as a young Rasta, and here he is as an elder. I'm studying under Kojo when I'm living in Compton. This is happening out in Compton. I'm going back and forth to the King's Chamber with King OG, right, to Kojo. This is some real history for you. So I'm living with both of these brethren. I'm living with Kojo and I'm living with King OG. Kojo is one of the early Rastas and King OG is one of the founders of the King's Chamber, which is a Kemetic Rasta, Black American or African born in American Rasta. right? Seriously. So I show you how this is all ordained, right? So I'm living with Kojo out in Compton, and I'm staying with King OG. This is this is a African born in America. King OJ, this is a Kemetic Rasta. So now let me rewind. So when we get to LA, like I said, they always take you to the other people got hair like you. So we had Venice Beach, and they tell me and my brother Kepper, y'all need to go and find King OG. He over on Normandy and Jefferson. So we went over on Normandy and Jefferson and found King OG. Now I'm a Kemetic Rasta already. When I knock on the door and he come down, why would they also Kemetic Rasta? Way in LA. So OG is a Kemetic Rasta. And Kojo is one of the early Rastas that was around that taught Bob Marley and them, that brought Bob and Peter Tosh and Bunny Weather into the Rastafari liberty. So these is the two brethren that I'm dealing with as a youngster. This is what, 1980, late 81 or 82. I'm like 24, 23, 24. Right? So I'm staying with the King's Chamber. So on my way to OG to the King's Chamber from Compton, because I was staying with a brother in Compton, this brother drove by me on a van and told me to come to his house. And this is the brethren that was close to Jabunny's father. So that's why me and Jabunny got a bond, because when Jabunny seen me mention Kojo, Jabunny reached out to me because that officially made me officially a part of the connection with Jabunny. We're connected at the hip, me and Jabunny, through his daddy and Kojo. And so it's off the top. You see what I'm saying? That's how me, and this is why I'm connected to Jabunny. That's why I could never turn on Jabunny, because this is military. This is not emotional. This is a military movement. We militants. This is not no funny thing. This is militancy, right? This is militancy. You know what I mean? I'm a young militant, okay? During this time, here's the connection. This is the difference between Rasta then and Rasta now. And this is why Jabunny is like he is. And this is why I can relate to Jabunny. Because the strong force of Rasta in the late 70s, early 80s, the battle cry was to free Rhodesia and to free South Africa, to make Rhodesia Zimbabwe. Because at this time, it's not Zimbabwe, it's Rhodesia. These are the children was killed in Soweto. So you have to understand that my generation, we revolutionaries because we fighting against apartheid in South Africa. Now, Jabunny is a part of that fight against apartheid in South Africa. But not only that, Jabunny is the young Rasta that watched them beat the older Rastas. Because in Jamaica, the police was beating the Rastas, cutting their dreads, tying them to the back of cars, dragging them down the street, throwing them all in prison. Catch a Rasta, beat them, trim off his dreads, beat him, throw him in prison, right? And so Kojo told me that coming up as a Rasta, you see he's in the mountains, he had to stay in the mountains. Because he said if he went to the city, they might kill him dead. He said one time the police had his mother send a message up to him to come, something was going on. But he said he knew it was a setup, that they was just trying to draw him out the mountains. If he would have went to see his mother, they would have killed him. So this is my teacher telling me the atrocities. They used to kill Rasta. They used to tell the children, we eat the children. That's why Bunny Wailer's got the song, look at the black-eyed man, little children. I said, don't go near him. He is the black-eyed man, little children. Only the lion fear him. They was teaching the children, we black-eyed, with our dreadlocks, we would eat them. They would kill you in Jamaica back then. Many Africans born in Jamaica that moved to America, they either had to cut their locks or sell ganja or drive cab. The only job they could get was drive a cab. Rastas couldn't get no jobs in the United States, including I couldn't get one. The only reason I got a job because I mashed my dreads down and put some bunch of grease on my dreads and put on 2 stocking caps and made it look like waves and put on a tailor-made suit and went down to the Treasury Department, and there was a bunch of black women and they thought I was handsome in this tailor-made suit and they hired me. And every day I had like a 30-day probation period where if there's anything they could let me go within 30 days. So for 30 days, every day, I had to wash my dreads. I had baby dreads just starting. I had to put this royal jelly on it in the red can, right? I warm it up, heat it, right? Put it on my dreads and put on 2 stocking caps and tie a tight scarf on it. So when I get up, it would be slicked back. It looked like a perm almost. You couldn't see I had dreads. And then after my 30 days, I shook my hair out and went to work. And my supervisor called me in, what's going on with your hair? But they couldn't fire me, it was too late. So Rastas couldn't get no job, none. And we was fighting against apartheid in South Africa. Now, John Bunny, he was down there watching them beat the elders, beat his generation, beat him, beat his elders, right? In Jamaica. I'm in America where they can't just do it like that, but in Jamaica, he's watching the brutality. So Jabi is in Jamaica watching the brutality. Them young Rastas in Jamaica, they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. The brethren down there that's criticizing Jabunny, they soft. They don't know nothing. They know the history, but it's one thing to know it, but it's another thing to witness it and live through it. The younger Rastas now, the generation, they're not dealing with apartheid. They're not militant like that. They turned it into church. And this is where the beef is at. Because we don't like the church Rasta. Period. This is a militant movement. This is not a churchical movement. Period. Rasta always fought against the church. We not no damn church. Back in 80 or 81, the Pope wanted to make Rasta a church, and we refused. The Pope Ben wanted to ordain Rasta. Well, these Rastas probably would have accepted, right? It's always been fireball in the Pope. Never no religion. So most Rastas, we don't really deal with the Bobo Shanti thing. We think they soft. I speak for myself. Bobo Shanti is soft. They're a defiled version of Rasta, and they're a defiled version of Prince Emmanuel. Emmanuel did not represent no churchical shit. Emmanuel represented Rasta work for themselves. Emmanuel was always taught to us Rastas as a do for self man, not no churchical nigga. Emmanuel knew we couldn't buy clothes, we couldn't buy shoes, So he taught the Bobo Shanti back then to make belts, to make brooms, to make clothes, to make crowns, to make stuff to sell, to be self-sufficient, to do for self. Bobo Shanti now ain't teaching no do for self, none. Just turned it into clown and trying to put his majesty in the Bible and trying to say all this shit in the Bible is his majesty, just spookism. A bunch of nonsense. Nobody want to hear nothing about no Bible, bro. We don't deal with the Bible like that. The Bible did not come in the Rasta for no religious purposes. Okay? The Bible came into Rasta as a way, as historical purposes. Let's set the record straight. The Bible was never used for religious purposes or spiritual purposes. We use the Bible for historical purposes. Period. We use Numbers chapter 6 to show that black people been had dreadlocks. That's it. That's what we used it for. We use it as proof. We use the Bible as a historical book, not as a religious book. We use it to show, look, Hercules had dreadlocks. Samson. Samson had dreadlocks. That's how we used it. Look, Samson had dreadlocks. Look, in the beginning, it say, every tree that bear fruit for food. So ital. That's what we used it for. Period. We did not use no praying Rasta. Period. That's a fact. We wasn't no praying Rasta looking for Haile Selassie in the Bible and all that foolishness. We wasn't doing none of that. His Majesty was the 225th descendant of King Solomon. So we used the Bible to show here, this is King Solomon. This is the man right here. That's it. For historical purposes. That's to all you Bobo Shanti. And all you Bible Rastas, y'all foul. Rastas a black militant group. Period. Birthed off of the invasion of Italy and Ethiopia and birthed off of apartheid in South Africa. All of these black movements, the black Jamaican brethren, the brethren Jamaican, the brethren of Virgin Island, the brethren in Africa, the brethren in America, all of that was birthed off of South Africa. South Africa was the Pan-African rally cry. South Africa. This is a fact. Jabunni went and actually fought in South Africa. This is a fact. So this is why he be disrespecting the religious Rastas and how they deal with Haile Selassie. Because the way they deal with Haile Selassie was never the way we dealt with Haile Selassie. We always dealt with Haile Selassie on the militant side, not on the religious side. The concept of Haile Selassie being God was militant concept. It was an anti-white concept. It was the same concept that the nations of Gaza and earth used, the 5% nation and the nation of Islam. The black man is God. Shit. The black man is God. That's what the point was. The point was, nah, you can keep your white Jesus and all that. This is our God right here. Period. Point blank, period. We're not looking for no God in the sky. That was the point of it. But not to get all biblical and all in the Bible. It's militancy. Get up, stand up for your rights. Don't give up the fight. That was what Rasta is. Rasta not know read my Bible every day and wrap my head up like a girl and gown and dressed in a gown like a girl and praying all goddamn day. You understand? I'm not doing no negative I'm not doing no negative, not answering no negative questions today. Any negative question, I'm gonna look at you as negative for even. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing no spies. I'm not doing no negative comments. Don't even waste my time. I'm not doing any of that. Most of the time when a person asks you a negative question, they negative and they trying to get their negative input in there by asking you a question. I'm not stupid, bro. So don't come over here with your negativity and try to hide it in a question. That was uncalled for, off subject and all that. I ain't got time for that, bro. I ain't talking about that. Stay on subject. Why don't niggas like you stay on subject? It's a better question. Nigga, you all over the goddamn place. Right? So this is why Ja Bunny be saying certain things. Now, there were certain things that Ja Bunny has said about Emperor Haile Selassie that a lot of Rastas is not going to like. Period. I don't necessarily agree with that part, but I know where he's coming from because he's in Jamaica at the time. So I'm not in Jamaica at the time. I'm not a young Rasta. My father's not Mortimer Plano. I'm not in on the battlefield in Jamaica. From Ja Bunny's point of view, they got their thing going already. When Haile Selassie come and he tried to get Rasta to join the church, that was definitely something that I could see he wouldn't like. Because let's keep it real. Rastas in 79, 80, 81, we hated the Ethiopian church. We didn't like them. We did not like the Ethiopian Orthodox Church because the Ethiopian Orthodox Church sold His Majesty out. They was the ones that made the radio thing saying negative stuff about His Majesty. And the Ethiopian Orthodox Church tried to piggyback off Rasta. In other words, what Ja Bunny, Daddy, and them started, and the movement of Rastafari movement started growing globally, and the reggae music started growing globally, even though the Ethiopian Orthodox Church really didn't honor Rastafari or Rastas, they tried to piggyback off us and spread their church and try to mingle in with reggae and spread that nonsense, and they tried to pimp Rasta. This is a fact. We never liked them. Soon as I got to LA and we was blowing up LA, this brother came to LA. He was the leader of the Ethiopian church there. I ain't like dude at all. None. And we didn't like him. Because they was trying to pimp. Like, as people checked for Rasta, they was taking the Ethiopian church, was going in and stealing the people as they become Rasta consciousness. They was stealing them, trying to stir them into the church. That's a fact. They was taking advantage of the music. They was taking advantage of everything Rasta was doing to inspire the nation to be revolutionaries. And the Ethiopian Orthodox Church was trying to take revolutionaries and turn them into religious nothings. And still Ethiopia ain't on nothing. That churches ain't doing nothing for Ethiopia. What is the Ethiopian Orthodox Church doing for Ethiopia? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just them priests getting rich. That's it. Living good while the rest of the people starving. So this is where Ja Bunny coming from. This is why he's beefing with certain Rastas that's wearing all them gowns and all of that. And let's, for all you Rastas watching, let me make it clear. I don't like y'all either. I don't like your religious Rastas. I don't like y'all. Okay? None. Y'all is foul. Y'all is fake. And a lot of times, the nearer the church, the further from God. So most churchical people is demons. That is a fact. That is where Lucifer dwells, around religious people. This is why all these atrocities was reported going on up at Bobo Hill with the holy men. How the holy men had all these atrocities. Listen, this Chicago, don't come to Chicago with that holy shit. Don't come to my city with that. The fire burn you. We not holy. We not sitting around praying. We're not praying to no God to do nothing for us. Period. We God. We Jah. When we talk about Haile Selassie and Jah, that's why we say I and I. I and I mean one with God, and we God. God and God and God, I and I. What I'm going to pray to God for? And I'm Jah. Huh? But I'm not praying to no God, bro. Black people have been praying and praying and praying and praying to God. And what it get us? While we praying to God, we ain't got a phone, we ain't got a car, we don't build no homes, we don't control the schools. What kind of God y'all got? Look up there with Bobo Shanti, that raggedy junk they got up there. What have God done for them? What bad man they come in there and beat them and went up there and killed that sister up in Bobo Hill. And y'all got Bibles and dresses on like some punks and let them people come up there and kill the sister up there because y'all wasn't no militants. Y'all some girls, some punks. Some punks up there with the Bible, but let the bad men in Jamaica come up there and punk them and beat them, beat the elders up, all that up there. All that. When them Rastas started getting holy, them Rastas got holy, got kicked off the land that Bob Marley and Rita gave them, got kicked off of that. Bobo Hill is a mess. People up there getting beat and all that. Rasta just falling down there in Jamaica. Ain't on nothing. Ain't on nothing. The music ain't even popping no more. Nobody give no damn about reggae no more. Reggae is dead in the water. And you know why reggae is dead? Because they turned it into gospel music, that's why, and slackness. It ain't militant, okay? Listen, it's not militant, okay? Reggae music now is soft like cotton. Nobody gonna listen to that shit, bruh. If the Rastas today would have came into my life in 79, I would have never fucked with y'all. I would have stayed just a comedic militant. Ain't no way I would have messed with these Rastas. Listen, I'm going to say, you Rastas out here today, this younger generation of weirdo Rastas, I never would have messed with y'all. Period. Y'all wouldn't have got no respect in Chicago if you came up here in Jamaica with that churchical shit. That's a fact. You would have been disrespected and told to stay in your place. Don't come try to demilitarize us. We trying to get our people out the church. We don't need no long-haired church boys up here keeping our people in the church. To me, this whole new plot is to take black people out the bald-head church and put them in the other church. On top of that, one brethren, he had a thing wrapped all up on his head. I thought there was dreadlocks. He ain't had no locks under there. He was a fraud. Because I'm like, I'm not against you, brother, because you ain't got locks. But why would you wrap that thing way up here to give the appearance that it's hair in there? Bro, you a fraud. I stopped messing with him. I'm like, this dude is a fraud. This dude is not Right, this dude is a fraud. Okay, and all you brethren, if you got a big old turban wrapped on your head with no dreads under there, what else you could call it? So I'm dealing with this brethren. I'm thinking he got locks under there because it's stacked way up, right? Ain't no hair even in there. And this brethren got the nerve to try to say something about John Bundy, and this brethren is a fraud, bro. You a fraud. Because you could have just wrapped something that fit your head, and that would have been cool. And we would have just dealt with you like that. But the fact, brethren, that you wrap that thing way up there like that, and you know damn well that everybody gonna assume it's dreadlocks in there. You Rasta. So here you is a bald-head Rasta, a bobo with a big old hair wrap with no hair under it. And what the hell could you say? Nothing, bro. Shut up. You a fraud. You can't say nothing about John Bundy. John Bundy had locks, and look at him now. Does he look ashamed? Do he look like he's trying to hide it? No, he being who he is. He was a Rasta baby, and he a Rasta in his heart. He been like that, and even though he ain't got his locks, you can't unrasta. If I cut my locks off, I ain't gonna unrasta. How am I gonna cut my insides off? I'm gonna cut my locks off, but I'm gonna still have this same energy. I ain't gonna go nowhere because I don't got no locks. It's a difference between somebody that's a Rasta that end up for some reason with no locks than some bald-head boy that ain't never had no locks trying to pretend he a Rasta. Don't try to act like that's the same. Don't try to act like any dude, like the Ethiopian dude or whatever he is, and ain't got a lock nowhere trying to write Rasta books and say you're a Rasta. Bro, you ain't never even had a lock on your goddamn head, boy. Boy, you ain't no Rasta. You's a Pastafari. Because you look like you eat a bunch of pasta and shit. You know what I'm saying? Say, Ja Pastafari, and go to the Italian restaurant and get out of here with that goofy-ass book, bro. I would never buy that book. On my soul. Let me tell you something. This black man born in America Rasta. This thug house Rasta over here. This ain't Bobo's idea. None of that. I got my own ideology I'm finna kick off. And it ain't none of that religious shit. Black folks, religion is nothing but a divisive tool in the black community. I can't stand religion. Because religion takes some black people that's oppressed and make them Baptists, Methodists, right? Jehovah's Witness, Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, nut shit. But yet, as with the color of your skin, you ain't getting nowhere. So you religious, you'd rather be religious than unified. You'd rather be religious than unify with your people. But then when you go outside and you black, you just black. Ain't nobody gonna look at you like you know Christian, like you know Muslim, like you know Bobo. You black, man. That's how the world gonna treat you. The world gonna treat a Bobo just like they're gonna treat a black Christian. Period. You're not gonna get no pass because you got a dress on and a head wrap. Plus, I don't even honor no niggas in no dresses and no hair wraps. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm worse than John Bundy. To me, the black man don't need no damn frock on and no hair wrap. That there is suspicious. You need to be on stage tomorrow. Could you be looking like the actors? When I came up, the only people that had hair wraps on and dresses was Rita Marley and Marcia Griffin and Judy Mowat, the actors, the sisters. The sisters had their hair wraps on. The brothers wore the crowns. Now, here these brothers got a hair wrap on. I don't really honor none of that. And you can make videos about me all day. You just can't come to Chicago and play with me. That's all. You stay in Jamaica and make your motherfucking video. That's all. Stay there. Because you got a dress on and a hair wrap. I ain't honor none of that shit. I ain't never seen His Majesty with no goddamn dress on. Okay? So I'm going to ride with John Bundy. So I understand where John Bundy coming from because he coming from a more militant aspect. And he feel like His Majesty came and really didn't want to fuck with Rasta unless we joined the church. But I understand what His Majesty was doing, so that's why I'm right down the middle. I ain't choosing no side because His Majesty didn't have the opportunity to do what he wanted to do. His Majesty had to do what had to be done in Ethiopia. He was the emperor of Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is an Orthodox Christian nation. So His Majesty got to push the church. This is what Jabuni is wrong at. His Majesty have to push the church, because when you run a nation, you can't just do what you want to do. When you come in and you become the emperor, things are already in place already. It's not like His Majesty was the first Ethiopian ruler where he can make up rules. He come in, they already pushing the church. So how could he not push the church? This is what Jabuni got to understand. You can't blame His Majesty. This is Ethiopian governmental. The church is a part of the government in Ethiopia. So you can't be mad at His Majesty. His Majesty got to come and tell Rasta that to join the church. His Majesty can't honor Rasta praising him as God. His Majesty can't honor that, because let's look at it like this. If His Majesty was God and is God, He's not gonna want everybody to know. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a secret. No, worship Jesus. No, y'all shut up. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, only the devil would come and tell you he God. Only the devil would come and say God. God would never tell you He is God. Never. If you looked at Christ, it was 12 disciples in Christ. I guarantee you, Christ considered Himself number 13. I guarantee you, Christ did not consider Himself number 1. He considered Himself the 13th. And the Europeans consider Him the 13th, and that's why they hate the number 13. Some builders don't got 13 because they Antichrist. No, 13 is Antichrist. Christ was crucified on Friday the 13th. On Friday the 13th, when He was crucified, Black people said it was Bad Friday. 13th is bad luck because they killed the Christ on the 13th. The Romans said it was Good Friday because they killed the nigga. They said it was Good Friday. We said it was Friday the 13th, bad luck. They killed number 13 on 13th. A lot of people pay attention. Good Friday falls on Friday the 13th a lot. You better look. Good Friday falls on Friday the 13th quite often. That's all, another video for another day. And so, no, I'm not pissed at Jabuni. On top of that, as Rastas, we don't get mad at what the next Rastas say. We don't do that like that. We more deal with the principles on what you're doing and stuff like that. My beef is not with the Bobo, what a Bobo say. My beef is with the movement, how the movement is divided. Nyabingi, Bobo, and all this in this two religion. But if whatever a particular Bobo say, it's not for me to get personally mad at that brethren for whatever that brethren say. Rasta, we don't do that. We don't, there's nothing that Jabuni can say that we're supposed to get upset over. What can he say when I get upset? He say what he say, I say what I say. Let me give you an example. I told you that Ras Kojo and Jabuni daddy is like this, right? So when I'm coming up with Ras Kojo, I show Ras Kojo a booklet that Tazadi had wrote. So I show him, well, my elder in Chicago, I showed him Tazadi's book. So I took Tazadi's book that he had a little pamphlet, or maybe I just remember what he said, and I asked Kojo about it. So I asked Kojo, I said, the brethren in Chicago laid out 10 things you have to do to be Rasta. Kojo said, no. Kojo says just 3 things, Ron, to make be Rasta. Ganja is for the healing of the nation. Africa for the Africans. and Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari is God Almighty. This is what Kojo told me. That's Rasta. And Kojo was with Jabuni's father. This is what the elder told me. Ganja for the healing of the nation. Africa for the Africans. And His Majesty is God Almighty. He said without any apology, with no blinking, right? So when I see Jabuni say things against His Majesty, Jabuni is going against Kojo and his father, right? But he got that right to do it based on how he see things in his life. Because like I said, if he's the second generation and I'm the beginning of the third generation, I'm way in America, I can't speak for what Jabuni should say because Jabuni coming from a totally different situation. He not coming in the roster happy-go-lucky. They coming in the roster angry because they watching their elders get beat. They watching their elders get tortured, thrown in jail, and they could get beat and killed and tortured too. And they watching South Africa. So they, Jabuni is not going to be like nothing soft, no religion, none of that. None of that. And he's going to lean more towards Marcus Garvey than he's going to lean to Haile Selassie. Whereas Kojo did not like Marcus Garvey, right? Let me tell you, we was in L.A. Some kids was getting killed in Atlanta. Y'all remember when all the children was coming up missing dead in Atlanta? So downtown L.A., they was giving out these little ribbons that was like red, black, and green. So we come to the house. I'm staying with Kojo. I come home. I got on my militant clothes, right? You can see I got on red, black, and green, and gold. I got on all four colors. But this day when I came, I had on a little red, black, and green ribbon on my military coat. So Kojo walks up to me and he say, "What up? What's that right there?" I'm young militant. I'm thinking it's popping. It's red, black, and green, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, I got this downtown. This is for the children got dead in Atlanta. And Kojo say to me, he said, Garvey business stuff. I said, what? He said, Garvey, that's Garvey business. And I will not deal with Marcus Garvey. I said, what? Now I'm totally confused because Rasta deal with Marcus Garvey. I had never met no Rasta don't deal with Marcus Garvey, right? All Rastas deal with Haile Selassie, Marcus Garvey like that, right? Our power of the Trinity was Haile Selassie, Marcus Garvey, and Bob Marley. We felt like Haile Selassie was the king, Marcus Garvey was the Pan-African that made us look at the king, and Bob Marley was the prophet that sang the music, that put the message in the music. That's how we used to, that was my generation, that was it. That was our big three. And then number 4 would have been Emmanuel. We looked at him as do for self, but we didn't include him in the 3. We used to only push the 3. We didn't push Emmanuel like that, right? So when he said that, I'm like, what? So he's like, no, Garvey business. So then that's when he told me how Garvey said some foul stuff towards His Majesty. So when you know how much Jabuni like Marcus Garvey, it makes sense some of the things he said about His Majesty, because Jabuni is a Rasta, but he's a Garveyite Rasta. He's leaning towards the Marcus Garvey side, right? So then he gonna say certain things like that because he defend Garvey. Basically, on my side, I don't fuck with Garvey because Jabuni not my teacher. Kojo my teacher. But Jabuni father and Kojo like that, so me and Jabuni is comrades. So ain't nothing he can say could break up our unity. And ain't nothing he can say can make me look at him sideways or nothing like that. He say what he say because you're supposed to get the understanding why he say it. You're not supposed to get mad. You're supposed to look and say why he say it. And then if he in his life got a legitimate reason for saying what he's saying, then it is what it is. And to me, he got a legitimate reason for what he's saying based off who he is in the Rasta movement and his time coming in the movement. I can't speak against what he said because I wasn't in them circumstances. I wasn't there. He was there when His Majesty came. His daddy was the one who went on the plane with His Majesty. So I can't really speak on that like that and try to chastise him or nothing, because that's insubordination. This is the higher ranking officer. You're supposed to hold your tongue. You can't say that. You can't question a dude like that. That's how I look at it. I look at it like they can't question Jah Bunny. That's how I look at it. I can't question Jah Bunny. I don't got enough rank. Here go Jah Bunny father on the plane with His Majesty. This his daddy. He out there, Jah Bunny out there. I'm way in Chicago. How I'm going to question how all this interpreted to Jah Bunny? This is his father. His Majesty sent for Jah Bunny's father before he even got off the plane. When His Majesty opened the plane door and he synced all them Rastas out there and they grabbed the rug that Queen Elizabeth walked on and tore it up, and he saw a sea of Rastas out there praising him, he went back in the plane. Because His Majesty coming from a place where his own son tried to betray him when he got on a plane and landed in Ethiopia, wanted to try to get him killed. He coming from a place where a lot of Ethiopians don't even like him, like not a lot, but some don't like him. And he's coming to a place where when he get off the plane, he see a sea of Rastas out there praising him. He was blown back by that. He went back in the plane and he sent for their leader. Right? So he sent for their leader. And then so Mortimer came and walked him out the plane. At this time, there is no Nyabingi, there is no Bobo, there is no Orthodox, there is none of that. It's just Rasta. And it should have stayed like that. It should have stayed just Rasta. All that other shit, divide and conquer. How you Rasta? How you supposed to represent the higher level of people? You are divided into goofy ass groups. I seen a video of Sizzler call himself the president, and he had got all these Rastas together to try to talk to all the Rastas from the different houses. Do you know they argued the whole time? You can go see the video. They argued the whole time. Red this, red. They don't like each other. Now, these are supposed to be the black conscious people on a high level for black people, and they don't even like each other. Because you got these under Gad, and Gad talking crazy over here, and these under Emmanuel, and he died, and they pretend he ain't died, and they left the body up there till it started stinking, and the police had to make them remove the body, and then they still trying to say dude alive, right? You know what I mean? Emmanuel had died, and they had the body up there stinking. I'm not from Jamaica. I'm from Chicago. So I don't gotta say I don't gotta kiss nobody ass, boy. This is the rack. You feel me? Oh, this is Chicago, boy. I'ma tell the facts. He had died. And then they had that body up there all the time trying to pretend he wasn't dead. First they said he was gonna come back from the dead, right? They had that body up there, the body started stinking. And then it left their camp and it started stinking up the whole area up there. Other people had to smell that. So people called the police like this stinking up there at the Bobo Shanti spot. And they had to go up there and make them get rid of that dead body up there. Now, you know, they crazy. And then after that, they still try to say dude alive. And the Bobo Shanti, some of the most foulest rosters, because they tried to lift Emmanuel over his majesty. You look at some of their pictures, I was on 79th Street, the Conquering Line. And a Bobo Shanti brother, he's a cool brethren, but he tried to put Emmanuel over his majesty. I said, dude, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna put his majesty, how you gonna put Emmanuel over his majesty when nobody would even be listening to Emmanuel? It wouldn't even be no Rasta without Rastafari. Like Bobo Shanti is Rasta, bro. How you gonna be Rasta? What would be the purpose of Emmanuel making red, gold, and green belts and shoes and shit? But you don't honor his master, you honor him. But why you didn't make shit in his color? Just nuttism. When they try to squeeze dude in there and make dude some kind of religious art. That's why I don't like listening to their music, because most of the musicians is Bobo. So the music is defiled. The music ain't really Rasta music, it's Bobo music. They Bobo-Farians. I don't really honor them like that. I'm a revolutionary. I ain't gonna wear no, you know what I'm saying? I ain't doing no praying, bro. I'm not doing all that praying and Bible reading and all that. I ain't doing all that. So that's why I don't go to the reggae shows, because they be there. Everybody now is a holy man. Everybody now got a hair wrap on. Follow fashion monkeys and shit. You know what I mean? Soon it got to a point. See, it used to be like this, for y'all don't know. It used to be a point that the reggae music was ran by people from the 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes. I forgot them. You got 12 tribes. You got Bobo, you got Nyabingi, you got Orthodox, and you got another one. I forgot which one of them. But you got all these weirdo different groups. In the 12 tribe, that's who Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac, a lot of them was 12 tribe. But a lot of them was dope fiends, cokeheads and shit. So it was like, what's going on with 12 tribes? Just partying and coke and just slackness? That's, you see what I'm saying? So after so long, Bobos start getting into the music, right? And then they begin to take it over, like Capleton and that group start coming in. So now the reggae music is heavily saturated with Bobo or just dudes with dreadlocks just saying whatever, right? And so now they trying to make it a religious thing, and they're trying to push Emmanuel over his majesty, right? Religious fanaticism, right? They're not really trying to push black rising up, black liberation, the freedom of black people. They're not pushing that. They pushing religious shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everybody got a turban on as a prophet. See, we had people that we considered Levites, and these Levites had the turban on, and they were supposed to be the priests, right? So this why it was tolerated to be a priest. But when they started just having a whole group be the priest, that's when it got foul. Because it was supposed to be a priestly look. But for me, even the priestly look, my name is a Pharaoh, and like a priest ain't shit to me. You know what I mean? I'm named after a ruler, so I don't fuck with priests. I throw priests in lions' den. Like I have priests lined up in front of the firing squad. Like I'm about ruling a nation. Priest, what is a priest? So I don't fuck with priests. I don't fuck with historians like that. As a ruler, if I'm a ruler and I'm a pharaoh and I'm a ruler of a country, if you're a priest, you better stay in the church. And if you're a historian, you better stay your ass in the library. You better not get in my way. You know what I'm saying? Because you do books and you do religious shit, but we do guns. You know what I'm saying? We do pow, pow, bang, bang. We got a nation that got to be defended. We warriors. I don't want no nation of no religious niggas or no book readers. I need a nation of fighters. If you ain't gonna fight, then flight. I don't like no book readers. I don't like no holy people. I don't fuck with them. Because we living in a world, we being ruled by force. We ain't being ruled by no churches or no historians. We being ruled by police and military. That's how we being ruled. That's how they keeping us in order. They're not keeping us in order with no religion. They keeping us in order with guns and weapons. When is the black man gonna wake up? You up there talking, but you ain't looking at what they just did to them Palestinians. You not really looking. That they'll wipe you out with no second thoughts. They'll bomb our community. They'll bomb Jamaica. They'll blow Jamaica up. And you're not prepared to defend yourself. Even the militants, we just like the goddamn Hamas. Hamas got to bow down. Because they was talking that militancy, but they had too many Muslims praying all the time. Them Muslims that was praying is bogus. They should have been Hamas. They should have been ready to be revolutionaries. No, they praying to Allah all goddamn day. I wish I would. Boy, I'm not praying to no gods, bro. On my side, I don't pray to no gods. That's out of here. I do not believe no God's gonna help us. I don't believe that shit. Because for one, how God gonna help us when all y'all got a different goddamn God? Let's start there. Black people, how God gonna help you when you ain't even got one God? Marcus Garvey said, one God, one aim, one destiny, didn't he? I did. You ain't even got one God. So what you praying for? Make it make sense. So yeah, I don't like certain things Jabuni say about His Majesty, but I'm more Jabuni than I am. I'm more like Jabuni, so I don't know, because I'm definitely more like Jabuni than I am like the other Rasta, Ali Selassie Rastas. I love His Majesty. That's the king and king. That's my number one, but still, I'm more like Jabuni. I can't criticize him because I'm more like him. I ain't with all of that soft shit. Jabuni is just an extreme case of militancy that black people not used to. Black people don't really get to see. See, let me tell you something about Jabuni. I'm going to tell you what you're seeing with me and Jabuni. Jabuni ain't the only one like that. But me and Jabuni, we got some internet savvy. So everybody is pissed because Jabuni is saying something, but you're not giving him respect for being, I'm 65, Jabuni finna be 70. You're not giving him respect for being 70 on the internet. That alone get a big ass salute. He's 70 years old on the internet. That's powerful. You don't got many brothers and sisters of that age like me and him and stuff talking to our brothers and sisters on the internet, and black folks is on the internet. We have to make an effort to get more elders on the internet so the young people can get a different perspective other than what they're getting. Young people not gonna go get nowhere listening to young people. How young people gonna get somewhere listening to young people? You gotta have the older generation on here kicking it, because you gotta understand that age ain't the point. That's where they mess you up. It's not because I'm 65. 65 just means that I was here in 1965 and you wasn't. So it means I seen something you didn't see. That's all it means. You didn't see. So if you didn't see the process of how you got somewhere, how you know the whole story? You have to see the process. And so the older generation can show you more of the process of how things go than you can see yourself when you coming in late. That's all that is. It's not about the age, it's about the so that's why when I talk to Jabunny, I gotta listen because he 4 years older than me, which means while I'm still 13, he's 17. When I'm 14, he 18. When I'm 16, he 20. So he already in the world as a grown man. I'm still a kid in high school. I don't know nothing what he could teach me about that era. I don't know nothing. I'm not qualified to argue with him. I'm not qualified. Just like I don't listen to nobody, you're not qualified to argue with me. If you ain't, first thing I want to know when you was born. And if you wasn't born before 1958, why would I listen to you? I don't want to listen to you. The only way I'm going to listen to you if you're younger than me is if you're teaching me some young stuff. We got to put this in perspective. Younger people can teach me young stuff, not old stuff. Don't try to tell me no old stuff. Show me some young stuff. Show me some computer techniques or something from your generation that you mastered in your generation. Don't try to talk to me about no historical shit or something like that. Wait until you get a certain age, and then you'll be the one with the historical perspective for the young people younger than you. So I listen to young people, but I only listen to young people about young shit. I don't listen to young people about no historical shit or nothing like that. I don't listen to you for what? Why would I listen to my son? I got 3 sons, 3 daughters. You think I listen to them? I'm not listening to them, man. I'm not listening to them. A whole bunch of people, like I said, Jabunny reached out to me because he heard me mention Kojo. And so we was connected at the hip right there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm going to ride with him. It's fuck all his haters in the door. You don't fuck with Jabunny, fuck you. You know, you an enemy, you an op. That's where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't even saying everything I agree with, but we revolutionaries. We not girly like that. See, brothers, y'all got to get like, you know, Kojo told me Emperor Haile Selassie is God Almighty. Jabunny say no. But we not girly like that. We revolution. I don't care what he say. That's still the soldier. Period. Still salute. We not emotional like that. I'm not like, oh, you shouldn't have said that, Jabunny. But we not no girls. He say what I'm gonna say. He say what he say. That ain't none of my business what he say. How I'm gonna get mad at him for what he say? That's crazy. Same thing, you know, Kojo told me don't mess with Garvey, so I don't mess with him. This is rank and file. Period. We don't alter from what we learned from us commanding officers. That's just what it is. The Jabunny would never ask me to go against what Kojo told me to do because Jabunny know military. He know military, so that's why Jabunny will always deal with me based on because he know I'm standing on what Kojo told me. He know I'm a stun on that, so that's why he know I don't like Marcus Garvey, but Jabunny mess with me because he know I'm following my orders from Kojo. Which, if Kojo said that, his daddy was on that. See what I'm saying? So his daddy and them, they was not happy with Marcus Garvey. But that ain't got nothing to do with me and Jabunny. We the next generations. So we doing what we doing. So they not here. So as far as living commanding officers, now he's a living commanding officer. Whether you hate it or love it. It takes a lot of courage to say what he's saying. Tell you that. That man was in prison up, I think, in Rikers Island fighting for Rastas to be able to keep their dreadlocks. A lot of people don't know that. This man been fighting for Rasta inside of prison because Rasta had to go to prison. Rasta had to go to jail because Rasta couldn't get no job. So Rasta had to be what they call a criminal. Okay? In other words, right now, marijuana is legal. So now all these Europeans can get rich off of marijuana. That same marijuana, if we saw, we was criminals. Make it make sense. So the people they call criminals wasn't even really criminals. Because if you rape a child, that's a crime then, it's a crime now. If you murder somebody, it's a crime then, it's a crime now. How marijuana was a crime then and ain't a crime now? That means it never was a crime then. So you won't hire us with our dreadlocks. So we flipping ganja and we doing illegal activities to survive. Now you want to say we criminals. Well, you ain't letting us into the system legally. So what you want us to do? You want us to cut our locks? We ain't finna cut our locks. So we're going to do what we do. As long as it's righteous to us, that's all that matters. I sold a lot of ganja. Lots. At a time when they was flying over me with helicopters, trying to find me. I was out in the bush. I'm not your average African born in America. I'm different. I was in the mountains of Hawaii. That's me in the back. That's my comrade in the front. You see the marijuana over our shoulder. I'm certified. Okay? I lived outside. Rasta business. Ain't no house Rasta like that. I lived outside. No electricity, no running water. That's a fact up on the mountain. As a shorty, basically, look at my locks. They just touching my shoulders, going down past my shoulders. I was a baby, basically. Getting it in. Real revolutionary stuff with helicopters flying over me looking for me, trying to see who growing this stuff. Now, I look at all the money Europeans making off of the business, but they tried to persecute us all them years. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to talk about this and bring some perspective that, you know, Jabani is going to have a very unique and different perspective. He's 4 years older than me. He was the one going to war with the Orthodox Church. All that he's saying is facts. When the Ethiopian Orthodox Church was the enemy to us. That's an absolute fact. I was just young, so I wouldn't have been as much in the fight as he was. But yeah, when they came here to America and came to the West trying to push that, we didn't like that. We didn't like that. The Bobo Shanti then bowed down to religion. We fought against religion. Rasta never was a religion. Never wanted to be categorized as a religion. Rastafari, Rasta is a way of life. It's a liberty. It's not a religion. It's not supposed to be like Islam, Christianity, and all that. Once you grab that Bible like the Bobo, now you make us like the Christians. Now you make us like the Muslims. Now you make us, we was never that. That's why we always got along with Muslims and Hebrews and stuff, because we was never no threat to them, because we was never no religion. We a way of life. We're not like them. They is a religion. We don't have a church. We don't have no go around trying to recruit people like that. The Bobos up there with that church shit, fireburn that. We don't do church. We don't have a church. Rasta is a way of life. It is not a church. We're not churchical. All them churchical Rastas, fireborn. Kill, crap, and paralyze, all weak-eyed conception. All that's weak-eyed business. Selling out Rasta, selling out Pharaoh. Basically, it's some Christian niggas that became Rasta that want to still be Christians. basically what it is. The Bobo Shanti brethren never wanted to turn away from Christianity. They didn't really want to give up Jesus. So they wanted to be fake Rasta and be Christians too. Tell the truth and shame the devil. They didn't ever want to totally break away from the system. So they wanted to be some Rasta Christians. Basic, that's what they is. That's what the Bobo Shanti is. They some Rastafari Christians. That's what they is. And they use Ethiopia as an excuse. And they use the Ethiopian Orthodox Church as an excuse to ruin Rasta and water down Rasta from its original ideation. When everybody know Rasta never was no religion. Rasta never really dealt with no Bible like that. Only Bible is just reference historical. We never deal with that like that. We always look at that as European people stuff. We looked at the Bible as something that had been altered and messed with, and they didn't know what they was doing, and they left some truth in it. That's how we dealt with the Bible. That when we taught the Bible like this. When they translate the Bible and they tamper with the Bible, it was so far gone, it was so far long that they didn't know what to take out and what to leave in. So they accidentally left stuff in that they didn't know what it meant. If they would have known about Revelation and the mark of the beast and the cat society come, they would have took that out. But they didn't know what that meant. If they would have knew about locks, they would have took that out like they did. Now they got Revised Standard Version. Revised Standard Version, it don't say locks, it say braids. So as they find out that we push certain things, they take it out. They don't say Jah no more. They take Jah out and it say something else. But it used to say Jah. It used to say locks. And as they find out, they're upgrading. New Revised Version, where they can take out anything. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there. Jah Bunny, you know, he doing what he do. He gonna get some criticism. But we don't supposed to get mad at him for whatever he say. But then at the same time, born Marcus Garvey. So for me, the fact that Marcus Garvey says some disparaging stuff about His Majesty, and Jabi loved Marcus Garvey so much and don't defend His Majesty when it comes to Marcus Garvey, it kind of shows which side he leaned towards, really. He's more of a Garveyite. He's a Rasta baby as far as Rasta history, but his philosophy is Garvey. He's a Garveyite and a revolutionary. His philosophy is not really a Rasta philosophy. Because the ultimate Rasta don't fuck with Garvey. You know what I'm saying? So it's Rastafari or nothing, or without any apology. So we're going to step on Garvey before we step on His Majesty. That's just how I was taught. You know what I'm saying? And then His Majesty and them bust gun and thing, and Garvey don't bust no gun and thing. Garvey just dressed like a soldier, but he wasn't really no soldier. His Majesty was really a soldier. That's another thing. Garvey is a bootleg soldier. Marcus Garvey dressed like an emperor or something, but he wasn't really none of that. You know what I'm saying? But he did great works too. You know what I mean? He did some great work. You know, he did a lot of good stuff. But it's just, you know, you do what your superior officers tell you to do. Kojo said, fuck Garvey, so that's what it is. Hey, man, what you want me to do? You know, boy, I ride till the wheels fall off. I don't be flipping on my elders, the people that teach me and bring me in. I don't never flip. It's that. It's going to stay that. I ain't finna flip on what dude told me. But I ain't going to be, it ain't like when I get around Jabi, none of that shit don't really matter. That's the point of this. Like, none of that don't really matter when I get around him. And this is where Rastas is soft. Nothing I'm saying now Jabi don't care nothing about what I'm saying. Where it's emotional like that. We're not emotional. We're supposed to be soldiers. Ain't nothing Jabi can say gonna make me don't deal with Jabi. That's crazy. He not saying nothing too bad. He always try to respect the king. He respect the king. He just don't like them making the king God. He respect the king as a king. He don't respect the king as God. He's saying that they wasn't pushing His Majesty as God. They was pushing the Jah knowledge, that every man was Jah. That's why I'm not qualified to debate him on that, because I wasn't there. And Jabi was there at basically the birth of it in Jamaica. I'm in Chicago. So I don't know. My knowledge is limited. He in Jamaica at the time. And he's saying that they had the Jah knowledge. So what he's saying is that every man was Jah. So that's why they looked at His Majesty as Jah. It wasn't like His Majesty is Jah and we not. And that makes sense because we say I and I. And I mean you, me, and God is one. So if me, you, me, and God is one, we are Jah. We are God. The black man is God. So I definitely over what he's saying. He not saying His Majesty not God. He's saying His Majesty not God alone, that we God. And then they took it and made His Majesty God. And then they went and put a bunch of religious shit with it. That's what he pissed over. And made it like Christian shit. That's what Jabi is pissed over. And one thing about Jabunny was in prison. Jabunny read a lot. Because what else could you do in prison? And Jabunny knows some history. Listen, this ain't no dumb brother. This brother know, I bet you he know more history than I know. Jabi knows a lot of history, bro. He not nobody to play with. Like that man got a lot of books, man. He got a lot of books. So all I would do is sit down and debate with him to try to learn. I wouldn't debate with him to catch him up. I would ask him questions to see what he gonna tell me so I could suck up the information what he telling me. Whatever he tell me, I'm gonna suck it up. You know what I'm saying? He is a good brethren, though. They should respect the fact that he out there talking to us. You know what I'm saying? They bogus for like that man 70 years old. Let that man talk to us. I don't care what he say. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna, bro, this man 70 years old, this our elder like that. Let that man talk. Let him talk his truth. And stop acting like little girls being mad over what he say. Boy, I'm being mad at Jabi for that kind of stuff, man. That's my man till the end. See, the thing is, with Jabi, the reason I got to ride with him till the wheels fall off, because his father and Kojo would not approve of me and him not working together. They would be very disappointed. They would expect us to be brethren. You understand? So Kojo would not be happy with me if I disrespect his brethren's son, regardless, first things first, right? So Kojo would not honor me. You're right. Kojo would say I would be out of place to disrespect Jabi. I would be out of place because that's his boy. That's his, they like this, him and Mortimer, and that's his best friend, one of his friend's son. That's going to trump everything, family over everything. So out of respect for Kojo, I ain't going to never say nothing sideways about Jabi. That's my man. He can say what the hell he want to say. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with him. They should have came and talked to him and reasoned with him about it like how I'm reasoning about it. instead of getting in their feelings and call them an agent. Let me tell you something about that. People call Jabi an agent. People have called me an agent. Let's deal with that. Let me tell you something. If Jabunny is an agent for the government, he's one of the worst damn agents. Wait a minute. What kind of agent is that? Like, make it make some sense. If he was an agent for the government, he is failing tremendously. Because people have said, I'm an agent. And I'm like, bruh, I would be the worst. I thought I would be the worst agent until they said Jabi is an agent. I'm like, well, what's the mission? It's just like, wait a minute. What an agent? What is the mission? Like, bro, if I'm an agent and me and Jabi is an agent, the agency is desperate as hell. The agency of me and Jabi is agents, right? If me and Jabi was agents, right? The agents, if me and Jabi was agents, the agency is short on help right now. The government is desperate as hell. If the government come to me and Jabi to be agents, they short on help, you know. It got to be. Y'all can't find nobody else but me and Jabi. That's messed up. Because one thing about me and Jabi, if we agents, we're gonna be double agents. So we're gonna do the overplay for the underplay. So I know damn well they don't want to trust us. And if we agents, Jabi, if we agents, where the guns? Why we don't got no agent guns? We need agent guns. Why don't got no agent gun? I'm confused. This is a bogus ass agent job. I quit. I don't want to be an agent no more. Cause damn, what do I get? Just be an agent? I don't get no guns. 007 used to get weapons and secret stuff. Oh, I don't get that. I need some John Wick stuff. If I'm gonna be an agent, like where's the agent stuff? That's crazy. And where's the paycheck too? Don't agents get paid? You know what I'm just saying? Where's my check? And what's my mission? Me and Jabi got to be the only agents that nobody told us what we're supposed to be doing. It's like the government came to me and Jabi and say, y'all agents. And we like, all right, cool. What we supposed to do? They're like, we'll let you know one day. And then they just never told us the mission. Because the mission can't be to piss off no Rastas. What kind of mission is that? The mission is to make people not deal with Selassie. What? That's the mission? They just call anybody agent nowadays. Anybody can be an agent. They said I was an agent. I'm like, damn. That's messed up that I'm an agent. That's not a good look for the agency. If I'm an agent, that's a bad look. They actually let me be an agent. I'm flattered as hell. I need the agency to call me though, because I ain't getting no check or nothing. And I did, if I'm an agent, that's bogus as hell. Because ain't somebody supposed to tell you an agent? You know what I mean? Like these malls got me as an agent and didn't even tell me, Pharaoh, you an agent. I'm just an agent and I don't even know I'm an agent. Ain't I supposed to know I'm an agent? This shit fucked up. It's not easy being an agent when you don't know you're an agent. It's hard. That's crazy. It's not easy being an agent when you don't know you're an agent. They're gonna have the agency gonna have to fix it. And then another thing too, if I'm an agent, this is very important. What's the name of the agency? Who I work for? I need to know. I really need to know who I work for. Because I can't just be no agent and I never get a check. I never get told I'm an agent and I don't know the agency. I can't even quit. You know what I'm saying? On myself. Who do I call to quit? Crazy. So much respect to Emperor Haile Selassie, Marcus Garvey, Claudius Henry, who really, if it wasn't for Claudius, according to Jabunni, Jamaica never would have got their liberation. Now, I never knew much about Claudius Henry. I just read, through. They really don't talk about him like that. They skip by, but I do know he was accused of trying to overthrow the government. I think it's a good thing that Jabunni is bringing that history about Claudius and letting people know that Claudius was a powerful person when it comes to black liberation in Jamaica. Salute to my brethren, Jabi. Keep doing your thing. Keep taking care of your health, man. Don't let them get you messed up. R.I.P. to my brethren, Roscoe Brown. And salute to my brethren, Tazadi Wadada. You know what I'm saying? To all the people that then paid their dues out here in this stuff. Also, I want to give a shout out to my brethren, King OG, the King's Chamber. Salute to King OG of the King's Chamber. You know what I mean? And you rosters out there, let's get it together now. We can't be like all this fussing and fighting. If the brothers say something you don't like, go on this channel. And then if somebody got a rebuttal, and then you post it, and then Jabi got a rebuttal, post his rebuttal too, and stop showing favoritism like that on your social media. As far as I go, fuck all y'all anyway. I'm doing me. So I don't give a fuck about your none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no honors. I don't need no respect. Because I'm in Chicago, and if I want respect, I'll take it from you. So, just like that. So listen, the rest of y'all eat right, take care of yourself, stay positive, stay out of trouble, right? Get on some positive vibration. Don't let this internet fool you. Don't let this internet take you off your square, right? And as always, Jah Rastafari.